Welcome to the latest episode of Rising to the Ranks podcast. In this conversation, we talk to Mr. Rajendra Sawant, who is the founder of Meytrix, a company that provides analytics and insights to investors. Mr. Sawant is a serial entrepreneur who's worked on several companies and has been practically working for himself for over a decade now. Over decades. From him, we learned how he comes up with ideas. Once you come up with the idea, how to execute and maintain your company, how to hire people, and the kind of mindset that allows you to just plunge into the unknown and grab these kinds of opportunities again and again and again, and how to make a livelihood and thrive in such a environment and in such a fast-paced slash risky endeavor. So we hope that this is useful for you. And if you have any kind of feedback, please let us know in the comments. Thank you so much.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine, but boys, how are you doing?
I'm doing good as
Saturday morning, getting into podcast. How is it?
getting into the groove right now.
Yeah, it's great to be honest.
so, in this podcast, we basically wanted to understand your journey about how you have evolved across your career and the different ventures that you have undertaken.
Okay,
So, just to begin with, could you tell us about your journey in brief?
fair, sure. I'll ensure that it is in brief. It is not a Sholeka story. So basically, I'm a like you, I'm an engineer. I did my MBA London Business School 1999 batch. Spent a good number of years in England, uh, and England and Ireland. I was with Fidelity Investment. If you have heard, it's a US pretty large asset management company.
Okay.
So managing the Europe side, and then moved to India. I was heading the software banking company, core banking software. Basically, these two, they have the product. So I was managing that. And then in 2008, 2009, I said, enough of working for somebody. Let's have something of my own. So the things like, from the past, for the previous 20 plus years, whatever the experience you have gained, and always, now, Kashyap, you have just started your corporate career and others are about to. So you get to see now, different facet of a, a corporate, good, bad, all, I'm not saying nothing is right or wrong. There is a difference, because it's always perception. So we ensure that we should not repeat those. So like, just to give you, simple thing is like, we don't have an appraisal system. So like, so like a person, say if a Kashyap is working with me for 365 days, what is the point in on 366th day going to Kashyap and saying, okay, Kashyap, tell me what you have done for the last 1 year, prove yourself? That is wrong. If Kashyap has done something right or wrong, he should be told then and there itself, instead of making him wait for an year and then telling him, yeah, you did this good, this is bad, that's the reason 1 mark deducted. One, it doesn't make sense. So you should be, if you're working. So we have a flat structure. So in 2008, 2009, along with my colleague, he was my engineering 2 year senior, Vidyadhar Kale. So I started my first startup into technology in mobile apps, specifically. First thing we decided, what may happen, we will not do body shaming. That was our first mantra. We will not, we had a development unit in Pune and in Mumbai as well. So I'm from Mumbai, so I had a small unit, but the major people were sitting in Pune. And so we started something, intention again, not to do only the outsource work. So we had our own. In 2014-15, I did my first startup, which is now, the likes of Zomato, Swiggy, called Hot Meals in Pune. So we tied up with 73 restaurants, and so because we could see, like, the people from the, in Pune there is a area called Camp area. Camp is a very posh, apna Malwar Hill, Bombay ka. So or yeah, BKC, sorry, Bandra, Carter Road type. So so that is, and those people don't come on the other side of Pune. So, and
Okay.
of course, there are good restaurants on either side. So and so that is where we started, and so we had a software. So we developed that, then we sold it out. Then I did win in predictive analytics. predictive, did again, sold out to a large FMCG group. So did, total 7 startups, 3 miserably failed, and I'm proud of that because I learned a lot from that. You know, all were self-funded. So, bootstrapping is in real term bootstrapping, in real term. The one where I'm currently, the COVID gave birth to our this latest my startup. Since COVID, all were locked up, not able to go out of complex. So one of my close friend who had worked with me in US previously, he's a PhD in economics, and we used to move around in the as a walk in the and so we used to he used to come up with a lot of algorithms. Raj, we should do this. Yeah. So I said, what you're saying is right, but the time taken for the algorithm used to we used to start at 8 o'clock. It's to end at 4:30 in the evening. Because we are processing millions of records of BSc and rather that time NAC. I said, बस ये वो होगा नहीं, commercialize होना चाहिए and automated. So that is where it started. So what we were doing is using various statistical method. We started using AI, machine learning, to find out the signals in the data. In Gujarati, there is a, in stock market in Mumbai, there is a all the dealers or the brokers they have bhav bhagwan che, means what, whatever the external factors gets reflected in the
Price of,
stock.
yeah.
And it's true actually. So we started, what had happened to the any particular stock, and we started to not predict, okay, this will go up to 400 or something. So we were not satodias, no betting or something. What we came up with that, at this, looking at this, is this the buy or sell signal on that particular stock, whether now from here onward it will go down or up. If it is going to go up, we will buy it. If it is going to go down, we will sell it. Simple, as simple as this. So that is, and so there is a, see, the whole this technical analysis is very complex, to be honest with you. And Kashyap, as you are entering into the technology side, you'll start getting the views of that. Good insight is into that. So what we started doing is, our motto is, whatever the technical analysis which you see at in the 8 o'clock in the morning on business channels, or you start getting on Telegram channels or Telegram groups or WhatsApp groups. Arey, today, buy this CMP, this, the all those. What is what? There is something must some technical analysis, some study must be there behind it. Our motto is to bring that direct to the user, so there is no in between. So whatever the so we don't process that beyond a manual. There is no manual process, completely automated on cloud. We process complete data from almost 1300 plus stocks on NSE and BSE. You can put in a wish list, it creates its signal, you get to see it, you get to do back testing as well. If you see what how Reliance was behaving 2 years back, so all that you can do. So that is what the currently where I am. So this is the solid short journey of what I did, what we are doing, the birth of why we are doing. Again, completely self-funded, bootstrap. My team is scattered across, I don't want to use the word globe, but in various states, 5 states, and doing, they are from various whether they are working with currently very large IT companies, but very passionate. So soon we are going to launch it. It's a very formally, properly founded private limited company, and we through which we are doing it. Lot of mobile app now. We are launching in next 1 week. Will be launching the app and many features. First time somebody from India has gone to Nasdaq and S&P, and we are bringing those also. So that is also
Okay.
it live, because so currently I'm pretty sure the many NRIs who have come back to India, they have good visibility of the US stock market. So
Makes
what
sense.
we did, the architectural point of view, we have created in such a fashion. It is a multi-currency, it is and multi-exchange. So we don't have to change our architecture. If we have to tomorrow incorporate US, if you have to, if FTSE, which is UK, DAX, which is German,
German.
Hang Seng, which is Hong Kong, we don't have to do anything. We have to just incorporate data and start. So to
Makes
prove
sense.
that, So instead of that, showing it on the UAT or MVP, we wanted to progress beyond. So as we speak, we have almost 100 paid subscribers for our platform. So it's a basically simple pay. You put into wish list. You start getting on WhatsApp. You don't have to continuously look at. You continue with your the work, whatever work you are doing, and it you exactly if any of the stock gets a buy or sell signal, it will immediately on the WhatsApp you will get a message. If you want to do the trading, it is not a trading platform. We are
Okay.
not yet SEBI registered, and we have put that disclaimer very clearly that we are not a SEBI registered. So we don't say buy, sell, CMP, nothing of that sort. We say that this is positive, negative. That this is what had happened. So this is what it.
Okay. I had a follow-up question on like what exactly does this platform do? Like, do you give just what kind of trend signals are involved and
Okay. So again, the trends there are many to answer
okay,
first, Kashyap, Ashwini. So there are many trend signals. So based on as I said, so there is a proprietary algorithm which we have written, which runs. So we take live data. So we have officially we are taking live data from NEC and BSE. Based on those data, we continuously in real time we process that. So
okay,
every hour we process the data, and in the process. So the one which used to take 14 hours currently takes 21 minutes. So of course so and that is the work which we are which has gone for last almost 7 8 months into that. Everything is into cloud, and based on that, then it creates signal. So signal could be positive, negative. So and it gives you, so it is as per the sector. So you can check the signal as per sector. You can check the indices, nifty 50, bank nifty, all those. There are many, you must have heard a lot of indices, various types of indices. So those on those. So to start with, whether today nifty, when I log in at 9:15, the trading starts, whether the nifty is overpriced or underpriced. So
okay,
it starts with that, you know. So the so there, so it tells you what should be my trading strategy for the day, kind of, See, basically, it is meant, Kashyap, for the people like say like Ashwini could be busy into his own work. So there you see what has happened in COVID time. A new trend. I'm pretty sure you would have read about it. A new trend came up. Lot of housewives, very well educated, but after the marriage, are not doing much. They got a lot of time during COVID. Nothing much to do. Nothing to drop to kids to school. And lot many. They do so much multiple roles, and they started getting into this investments, stock market investment. And I'm pretty sure this is a public data. You would have seen the exponential jump in the number of demat accounts in last 1.5 2 years, which has
right.
crossed in crores now, which took 10 15 years. Now they are crossing in 1 year. So to that extent. So and this is a public domain info. So we are trying to target those people, but they don't know what to do. So now they are dependent on business channel. They are dependent on which are, I don't want to say that, but we all know to what level they are manipulated. They are dependent on the WhatsApp SMS. You take subscription of 100 rupees and 1 lakh rupiya kamao. We all get those spam SMS. We don't know the whether how genuine, how scientific, how technical they are, and we just and again, as I said, the field itself is a complex. So I don't know. So to get a unbiased, direct to customer signal, so that is what we do. It is absolutely simple. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry, literally a SSC pass who knows कि अच्छा मुझे trading में ये करके करना है, can also do. So that is our intention. You don't have to have the engineer MBA or CA or nothing of that. CFA. You don't require any of those. Simple. On top of it, now there are lot many PMS, portfolio management services. I'm pretty sure you must be aware of those. There are so
Yeah.
many. So for them, we have a API as well, because they require continuous technical analysis, graphical representation of all that for their own clients. So we have a business API as well. So which say in case if you are running a PMS, we will give you a business API You run, you just extract data from there, and you run your own analysis. So we won't get to know. Otherwise, one PMS will never let you know what which stock they are monitoring or checking, or giving instruction for their clients to buy, sell, whatever. So of course, which is, but obviously it is proprietary. So for
Right.
us to ensure that the secrecy, we can give the business API.
Yeah, yes, sir. So you told about the core algorithm,
Yes,
which used to be like 14 hours long, and now it's 21 minutes, right? So,
it is not one algorithm. There are 12 algorithms.
okay, so those 12 algorithms. So, how did you like initially? What was that fire thing in it which made you like believe or believe in
Good
it?
point.
And
Good
second,
point.
how was the journey from that 14 hours to 21 minutes?
Good point, Ashwin. Liked it.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. So first, so as I mentioned that, so me and my colleagues, Dr. Samir Anvekar, who is the PhD, so we used to take rounds in our complex because everything was locked down. So so, and he used to say, Raj, I'm able to rather beat Nifty all the time. See, bear in mind, during lockdown, stock market was never closed. I'm pretty sure you are aware of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Banks were never closed. So we said, I said, yeah, So what we did, so two, three people known, we all were having our own trading accounts in, Zeroda or Five Paisa or whichever. We gave him access. We put money in that, and we give him access. And using those algorithms, so he used to do trading, and we could see, so money was not given, and of course we had, of course, 100% trust. So he was doing that, and we could see the results. So I said, even I was able to see that मुझे भी कुछ काम नहीं था तभी, during lockdown, was nothing to do, and I could see that. So Ashwini, to answer you, so that was the kind of, I said कि was, ये दम है, बंदे में है दम. So but and what we are doing is in right direction, and it is consistently, I repeat the word, consistently was beating the Nifty. you know so I said, okay boss, now see, it's one good thing, but to commercialize it is, because that time everything was manual, 100% manual. So there was, I said, if we have to do it, automating it without a manual intervention, number one, and of course bringing it down, optimization. So what we initially did, again, so from Chennai we hired a, so I was continuously, and see what happens, Ashwini, we go by the face value. How you, somebody at the, say mobile app or something, how, how your usability point of view, and that we could see that कि boss usability point of view ये outsource करके नहीं चलेगा. you know then we said, okay boss, we'll take on board people, and we'll sit with them. So we did a very, very proper which we all of us know, typical short cycles, development cycles, but लेके बैठे properly usability, how it should look, एक point. And believe me, it's a product platform, so it is ongoing. So like the just the day I was talking to Kashyap couple of days back, that day we were, when Kashyap was talking to me, we were taking it live. So new UI. So because as we see, we are getting, as I said, we have currently paid subscribers. So we are getting those feedback. Based on that, we are making changes. So that is an ongoing process. And in that performance, Ashwini, so we were knowing what it was doing. It was in R. So then, putting into Python Django, I'm pretty sure you must be aware of the frameworks. So so because that is what, if you are processing such a entire huge amount of data, you will require something which will, so memory leaks, and there are, as I said, I won't get into the technical details. So we did that. So we did all that. So see, it's not this question of software. It's a software plus hardware. When you get a performance, it is always the combination of both. So we did every possible combination, the RAM, so looking at the hardware, not in isolation, looking at software, not in isolation, looking at this. And that is where from these 14 hours we have come, which is completely automated. So in the morning, so we just monitor. So now, it's a completely, rather nobody is allowed to, rather nobody can tinker around. So we just check whether the data is processed or not. So we have, of course, set the sensors, which is but common. It's a logging, what we call it. So the server logs, it just tells us whether the because before we start the trading session, we run our algorithm. That is the first run. So we so to the process data. What was the rate previous day closing date? So based on that, we create signals. Then that is where start, because that is where you will start your looking at 9:15. So you will looking at whether the Nifty is overvalued, underpriced, and then based on that you will take the call. And then every hour, then we go on running. So you continue with your job. You are a professional doctor, lawyer, whatever. You continue with your work, but at the same time you continue getting the all these data. So that is how it works.
Yeah.
This is a 1 year journey, Ashwini. This is not. This was not. We did. I mean, I don't have numbers of. So this must be my fifth or sixth version. Currently, which version we are on. But patiently, I had that. Fortunately, the background of having done that, having failed miserably as well. So I'll be honest with you. So so I know so persistence in these cases, especially I would say Ashwini Kashyap, in any startup, any type of startup, whether it's a service, product, or anything, manufacturing, the patience, persistence is the key. Nine
Right.
out of 100, 0.1% is the which goes to next level. Out of that, again in 0.1% becomes unicorn. That is the I'm pretty sure you must be aware of that. So the sorry to use the analogy, but it's like a sperm. After 300 million, one sperm gives birth. So it's like that. So the execution is the key. So the idea, there are umpteen idea. The people are I was part of a board for a VC. They used to take IIT IIMs only. So we used to get fantastic idea, but to make it commercialize, to make it like you, I read a lot still at this age. So somebody was talking that instead of talking about your features of your startup or the product service, talk about what benefit it gives to customer. So and that is what our focus is. Instead of saying that boss, go our, but so if that feature is not useful to me, why I will use that? And it happens with many of the products, and many of the softwares as well. You know, say like there are really nice features. Features
Yeah.
that really directly gets converted to a customer benefit, questionable. you know
Correct.
so
Correct.
currently our focus is the boys is purely on how those features, so the features which we are introducing, instead of talking about the features, how it is benefiting, how it is making your life easy, how it is
Yeah.
making easy decision making, which stock to buy, which stock to sell. So that is what it is.
Correct. I, yeah. The journey that you shared was quite impressive, and the thing that you said about the persistence is really important. We should stay patient. हमेशा एक grounded रह के patience, persistence होना चाहिए. That is something that I'll take out from this and keep it with me on the journey. Now coming on to the point, like if you had the option of funding, like why did you choose to grow this startup
Good,
without
good,
funding, and
good,
why bootstrapping?
good point. See what happens initially, you know, uh, having played the valuation game good number of time. So I have seen, say Ashwini comes to me and start talking to two things happen. I get kind of a to certain level digress, trying to impress Ashwini. Ki boss, my valuation is so much, and in that, I to certain extent I get diverted from my goal focus of where I want to take the product, because now my focus is purely to show more valuation to Ashwani, so that he gives me X for a very little Y equity. That will be me. So my whole focus become So in this, I'll be honest with you. I follow the mantra of Zerodha, these Kamath brothers. You know, very simple philosophy. Personally, as I said, me, my colleague Dr. Samir, we follow that. Simple. So bootstrap it. What happens when you get used to live, work in that specific type of environment in bootstrapping? It becomes the life becomes easier. you know then otherwise what happens initially, right from the beginning, I have seen people spend on huge massive furnitures, etc., and then at the end of the day, when the investor money ran out, dry out, then again start. We don't want to do that. We have, I don't want to take any name here, but we all know that there are umpteen examples of that, burning the investors' money. What happens though, it's when it's your money, then for every rupee you will think twice, and that is what we are doing. It's own our own money. When we are putting, it's a hard earned money, so then we think twice before, so this optimization, Ashwini, which you are asking, so this is purely that need arised out of how I can reduce my cloud server cost. I'm pretty sure you are aware of that. Cloud servers are not cheap, that have to be, if you have to use, you have to use optimally. So we did that, right from data, so the data, we went to the world's largest data provider called ICE.
Yes.
Are the world's largest data provider. Any country, any exchange, the data is available to them.
Right.
When we presented, they liked a lot. They said, "कि boss, कुछ तो दम है." They came from Singapore to meet us. Their South Asia, CEO, and they came to us कि boss, कुछ तो तुम्हारे में है नहीं there. So we explained them, but their cost was in US dollar. Convert करने के बाद, we were, boss, this is purely हमारे boot के completely बाहर है. So and then, but then we got luckily another data provider, because we want to go with the authentic. We didn't want to go with what we use the word the free, then which might, it is not reliable, because we are trying to, when we are putting a subscription on it, so we want to give a very authentic data, and which we did. So we are paying for we are taking a paid legal authentic data of NAC BSE, and on which we are doing the transaction. So like, so the next expansion, yeah, we might, but not now. Where, we say, like, you would have heard the MVP, then there is a pre-seed, then there is a seed, then the Series A. Now the demarcation between these is very very opaque. Believe me, I will always say, "अरे boss, मेरा तो revenue चालू हो गया है, man, Ashwin said, "अरे boss, तेरा इतना सा revenue." On what basis you are saying के, guy? So all this, so valuation in a startup is always a perception, and especially you are trying to get into a new sector where there are no benchmarks, then it becomes still more difficult. Then only thing where the valuation will come is out of discounted cash flow. Now for me, I will show, boss, now I have 100. In 1 year, it will be 1 lakh. In 2 years, that is how. Boss, I say,
Right.
yes, and to numbers, yes, there are crores of thing. I'm just talking of 1%. My to grab 1% market of that. So it is definitely so. The prospect investor may not be able to challenge, and based on that, some merchant banker will give me valuation report. Huh? Based on that, it looks. But these are all hypothetical. PPT pay. Actually, what happens is the actually performance. That matters. The way Sachin Tendulkar, after scoring 100 centuries, if he gets out, people used to say, "अरे उसके bat और bat में ना थोड़ा gap था." Boss, whom you are trying to teach, So because people forget ये बंदे ने 100 century किया है, so it is as memorable. So that is what happens. So
Right.
we want to prove ourselves and then go to investors. So that's the reason we are doing this bootstrapping. Very difficult journey, believe me, but enjoying. Having done that, but others are also getting cope up with me now. But now everybody is into that mindset. We don't have a hierarchy in the team.
Okay.
No hierarchy. So so like we self motivated. Nobody
Right.
will, everybody will do everybody's job. Nobody will say कि अरे ये कश्यप का था, फिर मैं क्या करूँ, मेरा तो काम हो गया. No. If I finish early and Kashyap is taking, I will jump into with Kashyap and say, so at that kind of you can say camaraderie I have maintained, and that was my mantra. I said we don't have leave. You will be surprised, Kashyap. We don't have leave. So there is nothing called as a leave. You want to take don't want to come, don't come. Nobody's, there is no point me forcing Kashyap to come on Saturday. Kashyap is busy in a podcast. What is the point in वो कुछ तो देगा, मैं somebody is ill at my home, मुझे बराबर my पेट दुख रहा है. Why to give? So we don't have leave. आप कभी भी आओ, कभी भी जाओ. This is the piece of work. Complete it, go. If you finish, go out with a girlfriend यार. क्यों बैठे? Enjoy. So that trust, mutual trust is tremendous. So that's the reason. So everybody enjoys.
Right. So,
Touch wood, no single resignation.
okay. So just coming to this point, like maintaining a good company culture, because that's very important. And like one more follow-up question that I had was like, do you plan to go to investors at some point, or do you plan to keep this only a bootstrap business?
Good question. As long as, to be honest with you, see what we are doing, we are trying to create a what is use the word self-sustaining model.
Okay.
So so by which, so my the subscription, so as I said, every day morning, we have a Stripe gateway, the payment gateway you would have heard.
Yeah,
Stripe
yeah,
is the
yes.
word, so one of the, so every day morning, when I wake up, I get those mails, so much money is on the way, so thoda acha lagta hai, the day starts with a good note, so when the subscription का that payment gateway से जब ये वो morning में message आता है, मस्त लगता है, क्या रे वाह, चलो something has started. So to answer, at this point of time, I said, if you ask me investor deck, I don't have the question. I'm not
Okay.
purposely prepared. The moment
Okay.
I start, I know I will get digress and I will then start pushing my team towards that. कि मुझे evaluation के लिए. I have a known merchant banker, a license, a valuer as well with having been in this field. Nothing great about it. So, but I am not touch base with any of them. I said, okay, boss, I am getting request. Boss, you are doing something. Want to know क्या कर रहे थे? I said, okay,
Right.
well, I'll come back. I'll come back. That kind of. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but to answer your question, so how long? At this point of time, I don't know how long. I'm creating a self-sustaining model. Within next 1 or 2 weeks, we are going full-fledged on marketing, digital marketing side, pushing out. Currently we are doing kind of a just purely ensuring that we have a social media or digital platform presence, but we want to go. That is our aim to push. But obviously, and so that is full-fledged campaign which we'll be doing. So to make our presence felt, then planning. But I don't know at this point of time when. I might after a month or two, if you come back, and I might give some different answer.
Sir, one follow up from that. As
Sure.
you mentioned, the differences between the bootstrapped and the funded startup, like there might have been instances where you might have required a lot of money, like the case with IC you mentioned, and some of your team might like believe ki if we would have been funded or if we get funding right now, our growth trajectory would have been different. How hard is it to still keep in mind your philosophy, and how hard is it to execute and work on it and make everyone work on it together?
Uh, Again, good question, Ashwini. Difficult, but not definitely not impossible. So like luckily, what happened? The this whole roadmap. So there is a product roadmap in any product platform. When you create, you ought to have what is called as a product development roadmap in terms of, so these are the features. So what myself and my co-founder Dr. Samir, what we do, whatever comes to our mind, we go on putting. We have a bucket, so we are going on putting in that bucket. We cut the bucket into various you can say drops. I'm pretty sure you must be aware of these words. So we cut that. Okay, fine. In this drop, we will cover these 20 features. In next, so or likewise. So number one. Now coming back to the yes, it does. I'm not saying people have not. Initially, they question my rationale. So when I proved that, I said, boys, yes, I have money, so don't worry. So this is I literally showed them the bank statement. I said, so because that is the only way to prove. I said, don't worry. So we have sufficient, and I said, till how much run we can do with this, how much money we have for the marketing. So we did that whole split. Whatever I'm telling you, so my team, irrespective whether he's a junior or senior, everybody has the same information. So we share, so there is no communication silos, or no, only I will talk to the top management. There is no top management, including me. I'm not a top manager. I'm one of the team member. So we all are at the same level. Everybody does their own work. Everybody front end, back end, middle end, whatever we call it. We have full stack. Somebody could be on the design side. Somebody could be on the usability side. Important. So so all we have decided our Lakshman Resha, so that okay, in this sector, my word will be final. So likewise, we have decided. So nobody crosses into each other. So we do have debates, but we don't have fights. We have debate. If somebody make mistakes, we celebrate. Because that is a proof that इसने काम तो कर रहा है. So we celebrate if somebody make a mistake. There is nobody will say anything. Everybody will jump on him to help him. Yeah, him or her. We have two ladies as well. but we don't, so that is how. So I said I maintained that. And initially there was, so I, and so every around 2 weeks I communicate a lot, Ashwin. So to answer, very specific, and this is very important. Whoever, whenever, I'm pretty sure you both could be an extra entrepreneur very soon. Communicate with the team. Keep them, if you keep them in your gray cells, and if then, so there will not be this linkage. That linkage is
Right.
very important. So they are aware of what, so like, it's not about who reports to whom. So like, what is my schedule? They are aware of. So, and there is no, it's what, being co-founder doesn't make you, some, Superman. You still wear your under the jeans only. No? So, so, work is a normal. Show them that, that breaks that whole communication silos. So they are
Right.
aware of exactly where we are heading, why we are doing certain thing, why we are doing certain feature initially, not afterwards. What is the importance of quality? So typically in Indian software, I don't want to generalize. चलता है attitude is there. अरे ठीक है, I've done mobile apps where for US clients where they have given me specification, say OK button है, so that the corner should be rounded. They have given me degrees of roundness. कि ये डिग्री पे वो इतना राउंड होना चाहिए. So you just imagine it was the iOS app, so you can imagine the detailing, and they are means amazing, no doubt about it. So we try to inculcate that, the one discipline, the development, UAT, life, so all that. So we follow that, though we are very keen to, but we follow those disciplines. There is a reason why those disciplines were introduced in the software development. So we follow that properly.
Got it. Got it. That's a very I would say 360-degree view of on how the differences there are in different kinds of funding scenarios, to say. So next thing which we are curious to understand is like what sort of tech skills are involved in this career, or say you mentioned that you did you studied from LBA. So how did that help you in this journey?
That helped me in reading between, in the balance sheet, reading between the two lines, you know.
Okay.
So, so that is where we were sharpened there, So there, the experience was purely practical,
Okay.
no management gang, do assignments, come up with that, yeah. So continuously, it was a purely. So we were like, cut like, sometimes we used to work till 18-20 hours. Work in the sense, so because every idea there was, yeah, could get crash, keep us, this not, I'm talking of 1999, huh? So,
Yeah.
so no WhatsApp, so nothing, so no hi-fi tools which we use currently. Most importantly, no chat GPT, you know. So, so with all that, vanishing, but it was so, coming back to the skill point of view, you use the word 360. So that is the first and foremost.
Right.
The in typical Indian software developer thinks कि बस requirement में लिखा है ना, he knows कि ये it is wrong or something. He was requirement में लिखा है ना, अश्विनी ने ये लिखा, I will give that. What the difference is that, first, if something na, there is no harm in, Ashwin is not going to stop you from, if you put across a point that based on my experience, I think Ashwini this may not work, but if you do this, this might work in the business requirement level, you know and that
Right.
is where the, important point, the, so you call it a domain expertise, or that comes into play. So this is all the time when we are doing this, as I mentioned to you, we are not looking at features, we are looking at benefits. How my customer, the user, whom we are doing this for, customer, right? User, right?
Yeah.
Not for
Yeah.
us. We know how to use it, and we were using it. So when we are commercializing it, so we have to look at it from that angle, and all our focus is purely on that. How that user will be able to use it easily. So like even from dashboard, how it looks. So all the time we immediately change the hat. So we have several hats. So we change the hat and we check as a user hat, because how this particular dashboard will look like. So नहीं यार बराबर नहीं लग रहा है. So everything again on mobile. The data is 87% browsing happens on mobile,
Right.
not on laptops or, yeah. So if then we continuously every view which you can immediately check at mobile, because how it looks, all that things. So everywhere. So it's like a football. So football तो बंदे बेचारे खेल रहे हैं. I am myself and my co-founder Dr. Samir. We are as a manager, कि वो देखें कि बस how it is happening. So we are not trying to jump into that and trying to teach कि अरे बॉस ऐसे वो जरा बॉल मारो, we are not doing. Other the moment we do that, we will lose the external view, what is coming.
Right.
We do take the feedback very seriously, however trivial. We do get people now in known circle, they do said carry brother, we take it very seriously, very seriously.
Right. Also, sir, talking about it, what difficulties did you face while setting up your business? Like, what were the hardships apart from the tech which you already mentioned?
Okay.
Yeah.
The hardship is again, company formation.
Right.
All said and done, whatever we say, everything online. Unfortunately, this year, Jan to March period, you might have read in the newspaper, the Ministry of Corporate Company Affairs website was
Website
almost,
was revamped.
they were
Yeah.
changing from, we call that as V3 now, you know, and it was horrendous. Means I don't have words to express. It was, sometimes it was working, not working, means it was on the mood of that system. कि बस आज तुझे अश्विनी को एक्सेस देना है या नहीं. It is not depending upon Ashwini's user ID password. उसके mood पे literally this is not exaggeration. Whether I'm diluting the actual issues. So that was the, if you ask me, that took a huge amount of time. Then my take development. But still, another next one was the getting the data, because as I said, the free data, which is intermittent. Sometimes all of a sudden it will stop. You can't, free है ना, तो you can't claim ना कि boss data क्यों नहीं आ रहा है. You can't, right? Free है. So so we and we follow that. Nothing will be free. We will not take anything free. ठीक है, if license है, we'll buy license and we'll take it. Any
Right.
tool करना है, ये करना है. No, like we know, there are versions of that, broken password, और सब मिल जाते हैं, but no, will not. So we follow that rigorously. Okay, so that is, these are the two things which I would say, getting data, the initial form, apart from the take, was third. I won't say, the initial making, bringing the team to the thinking where we are, that कि boss in a bootstrap, everybody had a, at a, so we had two freshers, कि so make them कि उनको लग देख के वो भाग जाएंगे. So now, and I said, that should last 1.5 year, no resignation. So एक महीने पर we do boxing ring, but एक महीने बाद हम always will go out, go karting, कुछ ना bowling के लिए कुछ ना कुछ, तो सब settle हो जाता है. तो जो भी झगड़े वो settle हो जाते हैं.
Right. So, coming to the business part of it, so how do you acquire the initial few customers, like to set up the feedback stream? Like you now rapidly change your product based on the feedback received, but how do you get that initial customers, and how do you identify like they are the perfect fit to give you the feedback rather than just some noise who will be there for some time and then not use the product?
Good point. So what we did, Kashyap, is that F&F, friends and family.
Okay.
So, but the people, like, see, if I know Ashwini. So when I say I did check his rather experience, previous experience, or whether his interest in, say, stock market. So there are, now, with my level of experience. So I have even, and Dr. Samir, my colleague, also, we have good number of people who are into the stock market or doing it as either the day to day, as a bread and butter for that. So we started talking to them, because they are the people who will give us care. Really, this is useful. So we luckily, one of my close friend, he is a fund manager himself. And with 30 plus year of experience across the, so so he was our initial mentor in everything. So whatever, so we used to show it to only two people, and they used to cut it like anything. So all this, and I should give credit to them as well. And honestly, I don't purposely not taking the names, because for obvious reason, but they are the people. So he came, my friend came from a very very rock solid capital market experience, and he is currently he is heading a research firm with asset management company, and having done that for almost now 30 plus years. So he means, so we said, okay, boss, if they say something, we'll follow that. Of course, knowing without apart from that. So that is how Kashyap we set that kind of, you call it a chain of network,
Right.
whom to continuously receive signals. So initially we were and still we are to a good level stealth. We are not we are not trying to come on the radar. So we try to still and get that feedback, informally, and we did received really good feedback. So initially they were, so we used to come up with our grand ideas, special, and then he used to say, "कि बस पागल हो क्या, ये ऐसे थोड़ी कोई करता है." Then again, likewise we, did, and with patiently. But they used to, we used to run a call 2 to 3 hours, you know, and a fund manager. I don't have to tell you, Kashyap. Now you will see very soon. This fund manager are the busiest of the busiest people, almost every day. So but he still used to take time out of purely good friendship, and he helped a lot, guided us, help in the sense guided us. So के बस ये बराबर नहीं है. So he was looking from it from as a fund manager. Another was a pure play retail investor, who
Okay.
does in a day he does at least 8 to 10 trades, looking at analysis, everything. So we had two good kind of a feedback points to receive signals from. And then after the initial, then we asked them कि अभी लोगों को बताओ. So then we started showing it to others.
Right, right.
Right.
Absolutely correct, sir. We too believe like the mentor part of any business is utmost important,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
that is why we started the channel also, so that our viewers or anyone who watches those videos can take guidance from someone experienced like you, maybe. And talking about the viewers, maybe what are the white spaces in the current market which maybe they can identify, and maybe which entrepreneurs should consider tackling, like the white spaces in the market in general, not only like in trading, but in general.
Ashwin, like, to be honest with you,
Right,
a lot. If you ask me, there are, see, like, with the onset of these AI, ML, chat GPTs of the world, that can be used to a great extent. The whole AI, see what still, again, very few people would be aware of LLM, as I said, and of course, and I don't want to get into too much of technicality of that, but to answer your question very precisely, so there is a lot more can be done in terms of every aspect of life, every aspect. There is a heavy need for go green. So environment going. Because the way to what level the environment is getting destroyed. Now, for that, the AI can help tremendously. So as I said, there is a literally, so only your, what we say, a vision, your thinking, the limit is the only limit. There is no limit to the technology. The limit is only to what level you can think, to what level you can exploit it. So there is, at this point of time, the way AI and the whole LLM has got developed is, it's your own. There is a lot of buzz around. Abhi now AI आया, now there are millions of jobs will go away. No, it will get replaced by something else. So rather, if I sit with, अरे boss अभी आया, अभी मेरा job गया. No, now that mindset, with that mindset, definitely will go, irrespective of whether there is a chat GPT or not. The important is, if you have to continuously, like, I'd still at age of 55, 56, I still look at when I go to office, what I can learn from the most of my team are less than half of my age. But still I can learn a lot, believe me. And still I feel the training engineer whom I picked up from a campus last year, still I have something to learn from him. So, and if we have this learning process ongoing, I still remember, in my when I was in England, I used to put 110, you can say, rules of Azim Premji sir, Wipro's, so he used to say, कि every week I read at least 2 books. If I don't read it, I feel outdated. I'm outdated. So I used to think कि अजीम प्रेमजी साहब अगर ये बोल रहे हैं, तो where I am, you know, अगर if he is, and he feels that कि boss, he has to read, he has to learn things at this, after, there is nothing more to prove him, actually, for a person like him, but still, so I'm just, my point is, that is important. So to again, to the for the entrepreneur, continuously. So what happens, they sometimes एक inertia start settling down. एक certain level पे launch हो गया अभी ना अभी launch अभी देखेंगे. Now that is in the moment that happens, gone. So you immediately, that is the beginning of your downhill. So you have to, unless and until you just look at the number of product version which comes. The best example,
Right.
the ambassadors, we have seen that. I'm pretty sure this all must have happened before your birth. So they used to come in 10 years, one product change. You know, currently in a year you get to see at least 2 to 3 versions of the same product.
Right.
Anything. Mobile आप यूज ही नहीं करोगे अश्विनी लास्ट ईयर का. आईफोन 3-3 साल के बाद आता था, अभी 1 साल में 2 बार आ रहा है. ऑल दैट इज हैपनिंग. My
Yeah. Yeah.
so if you sit on your laurel, somebody आके बोलो अरे अश्विनी क्या प्रोडक्ट है धासु, तो अश्विनी लगा बस हो गया मेरा काम, डॉन गॉन. So if you are
Right.
into product any type of, how I can improve it, यूजर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, आप फीचर्स बड़े बड़े लाके गोल्ड प्लेटेड लाके कुछ नहीं होगा. हाउ इट इज यूजफुल, you know like, and that is where I know when I drive a German make car. So so the kind of smallest of the smallest thing, if the moment I put in the reverse gear, my rear wiper will first clean the rear glass, and then it will start it will start going back. Simple thing, you know but now here this is the difference between a feature and a benefit.
Right.
So so the mirrors will start showing me the instead of showing me the backside, it will start showing the ground. Simple. Now, as I said, these are small things, very small things. Now, can that be inculcated? Yes. So looking at, so areas, lot AI, using AI ML lot. We are not trying to reinvent. We are trying to, so the where people are getting confused, which product to buy, which product to sell. What we are doing is we are trying to guide them in a very unbiased manner. Which so like it should not happen that कि मैंने मंडे को हिंदुस्तान लीवर लिया, वेडनेसडे को मैं चैनल पे आ रहा हूँ, and then I'm saying, wow, Hindustan Liver is a really good, great buy. I'm not going to say that. No, actually, 2 days back I had taken a position there. So those type of. Why
Got it. Got it.
our platform is not for F&O. We are not for options trading के लिए नहीं है. Rather, it is purely for a long term.
Long term.
SEBI, there is a complete SEBI continuously telling people 92% option trading is in losses.
Right. Right.
You
We have also started seeing this banners on each trading app also
That is
now.
made mandatory by, so
Right.
exactly, that is made mandatory. They release that data in Jan Feb, so that is the reason. So we clearly say कि friends, long term सोचो. You will the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala sir didn't make money overnight. All you look at everybody, right from start with US कहाँ भी जाइए, everybody is long term में उन्होंने लोगों ने पैसे बनाए.
Right. True. True. I think the key is to stay patient for a long term, as you earlier
So
said
the way,
here
yeah,
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
so that applies to our users as well.
Yeah. True. True. So you highlighted a lot about the white spaces and the opportunities that there are still in the market. So coming to the work life balance part of thing. So how do you like sustain the pressure of running a business, and also how has this business helped you grow personally, and also the work life balance as I earlier asked about.
Kashyap, I run 3 businesses.
Okay.
It's purely, believe me, first and foremost, you should enjoy what you're doing. Even if you are just cleaner, and it's not a low grade. That is what I learned in England. I'm a completely non-alcoholic, non-tobacco person. So that is what I know. Even if what kind of people take pride, or that should happen. So I take pride in whatever I'm doing. Number one, time management, important. Where the major thing कि अरे हाँ, I will do it tomorrow, and वो tomorrow कभी आता नहीं. So if you love your work, you are passionate about the work, and you manage the time, you can do everything. So like it's 11 o'clock now almost. I stay in a area called Powai in Mumbai. Kashyap might be aware of. It is just in front of IIT Bombay.
Yeah. Yeah.
A huge group of cricket playing people. So every 3-4 months we do on a football pitch, we play cricket. So it's a like we call that Premier Powai Premier League, so tournament. तो आज उसका auction है शाम को. So I am a part of management committee. So I'm ensuring that all that has happened. And as I said, I'm sitting in my office. वो भी मैं करूँगा. I have certain things to do. So so it's purely if you are methodical, systematic, everything under the sun you can do. Look at Elon.
Right.
I think he must have forgotten कितना businesses उसका run कर रहा है. Ratan Tata sir, boss, I mean, and these are two big names I'm taking, but I said many people, and I said I'm not talking about myself. It's purely if you are focused, you can achieve everything under the sun. Modi sahab, हमारे, you know, like Mr. If so like I only thing what I do, if I say certain things, if I'm not able to do it today, I'll get up early in the morning tomorrow and I will finish that. So my tomorrow schedule doesn't get different.
Got it.
I follow that rigorously.
Right.
It's a question of passion, friends. Passion over life में ना everything under the sun is possible.
Right. So, sir, I'll change the question a bit. Maybe when discussing about your startups, you had multiple startups even before that, and you
Yes.
might have multiple co-founders.
Yes.
So, the first is how do you find the ideal co-founder, and also like how do you know ki is this the right guy or is this the right environment you are creating for the company?
Okay. Good point. So I will so it is not that I'm finding the co-founder.
Right.
So in the cell, it's just I will give you an example. Say I'm talking to Kashyap. Like yesterday, I spoke to him on phone, etc. Some mutual common synergy brings that idea in a part of discussion. It comes out, okay, fine, Then that, of course, the mindset, the wavelength has to match. Say, one, as I mentioned to you, one was my 2 year senior, in college. Then we were working together in Tech Mahindra, so that again, the likes, everything we went along. So that is number one. Another, when as a management trainee, I was in Godrej. So, they were training engineer with me, and I used to push them a lot to appear for CAT. And I said, boss, you take leave. I will manage you, but appear for CAT. Don't just sit on the engineering degree. So go for MBA degree. So they had that affinity. कि boss ये boss होते हुए भी he had helped us that kind of a thing. So they so with them I did social media analytics platform. So that time it was name was Bondasoft. We sold it to an ad agency, and now it is being continued as Quick Meytrix. So so we were one of the first to get official data from Twitter. Jack Rossi time की बात कर रहा हूँ. So that time we used to get around 250 to 300 million tweets. The intention, so we had those algorithm to find out what, say, McDonald's, they want to know okay, what people are new burger launch here, what people are talking about that in social media. So that is where we were using that. So something of that. So that is another one. Way. The third one which I mentioned to you just now, the Matrix one. So as I said, stays in the. Luckily, we are in the same company. We have worked together in the past, so knowing each other well, and mutual respect important, most important, irrespective of age, irrespective of whose boss or manager was. That mutual respect is the core thing. You know, because I say my money, so I will decide. No way. It's so you are bringing your part on the table, value as a value. Your Ashwin is bringing his value, whatever in terms of it could be technology skill, anything. Kashyap is doing, all should be then at that point of them equal. Then you are, there is nothing that boss. देखो मैंने पैसा लाया तो no, nothing of that. So I ensure that understanding is there in the beginning, and then we start the work.
Right. I mean, that's a really good point that everybody should respect everybody at
Important.
each point of the life. As you earlier highlighted, no work is small and no work is big. You should be just passionate about the thing. So, as we head towards the end of this podcast, you have given us a lot of thoughts, lot of insights on what we can work on or what we should inculcate in ourselves as well. We just have a small segment of rapid fire
Sure.
in which we'll just ask you 4 or 5 questions. You have to answer it in one line, whatever comes in your mind first.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah. So the first question that we have is, what is the best part about your job?
Best part about
Your job.
the best part about my job every day is seeing the product taking to the going to the next level every day.
Okay.
Yes. So, sir, what is the one thing you'd like to change about your job?
Uh, Too much of running around, which I want to change, and getting more focused. So just focus on having run multiple things. Want to run just pure metrics, metrics, metrics.
Got it. What is one missed opportunity that you wish you could have a second chance at? Maybe right from your childhood or your professional journey or something.
Uh, I would have continued with Fidelity Investment there. The whole my career would have taken a different. That
Right.
is
Okay.
what I feel.
Any
I don't
alternate
call that. I'm not regretting at all. So I'm
Right.
very happy. Of course, I'm coming back to many people ask me this. Why did you are so well settled, everything. Why did you come back? But still, I mean, that was the best decision in my life.
right? Uh, sir, any alternate career you could have gone for?
Uh, Only thing, something to do with the sports. I'm too much into sports, into and anything and everything, any time, any sports. So I'm not a mobile game player. Unfortunately, a video game player. So I can't sit at one place. So if the alternate career could be something into sports, definitely
Got it. Somewhere this links around the running around part of your job as well
could be,
then.
could be, could be. Could be. Still, I can
uh,
climb 20 floor staircases. That is much more than enough for me.
oh wow, that's fantastic. So yeah, this basically brings us to the end of the
Sure.
podcast. It was really good speaking with you, getting all the insights about your product, how to evolve things, and every tidbits of what you shared as well. So it was super fun. Thanks a lot
Thank you.
for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
Kashyap. Thank you, Ashwani. Thank you, Aditya. Fair. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.